I'm going to ask you to watch it all the way through. This is good stuff. We're going to talk about parking. We're going to park. And I want you to leave me a comment. Just look down below and you can still watch it while you type and just say, hi, Lee, or tell me about yourself. Give me a thumbs up. It really does help me if you give me a thumbs up, and down there, subscribe. It's not a big deal. Just subscribe. Let's get going. Let's talk about this. This is in dedication to Maria. Welcome to the no drama zone. Only high frequencies happen here, okay? You ready for that? I am Lee Thomas. This is a Lee Thomas show, but I'm better known as Minivan Lee. I live in a minivan, and I have for over 8 years. So today we're going to talk about parking. I know a little bit about parking. Actually, I know a lot about parking, where to find parking spaces. I mainly hang out in cities, towns, larger towns, not little ones. But we're going to talk about that because today I dedicate this video to Marie Montgomery. The banana. Dole asked me to review this product. The banana is the most dramatic food I've ever met. Green one day, perfect for 6 minutes, then suddenly it's a shriveled grandma with spots all over her. With that said, I keep them in my van like they're precious cargo. They hang, they travel, they don't ask questions. No peeling device needed, no blender required, no judgment if you eat 2 of these. There's zero cleanup unless you're the kind of person who tosses these into a bag and forgets about it. In which case, congratulations, you invented a new species of fruit fly. Pro tip, pair with cacao and talk to your mitochondria and your stem cells. They love that. Mwah. The banana. Okay, let's get into it. Marie Montgomery, you asked me a few questions. Let's see. If you're not driving where you park, do you have to pay for parking? I know what you're talking about, okay? In the next followed up on it, I see the reason I ask is I only have a small Social Security check, but can't afford rent. Bewildered sometimes. Let's unbewilder you because this is a positive zone. Let's get you feeling good, Marie, okay? Okay. If you are a city dweller and you want to stay, let's say you're just getting started, which I assume you are. Here's what I suggest. If you're just getting started, you have gotten rid of your place that you lived, whether you sold your home or you turned in your notice to your landlord. I suggest you stay in the town you're in, if you can, and live there for maybe 3-4 months. When I first became a nomad, what I did was I stayed in Tucson for 2 months before I went on the road. I highly suggest it because you're going to learn. You already know the city, so you're going to learn it. You're going to learn it as a nomad this time. And the whole city, it's going to seem so different. It's going to open up. Here's another suggestion. If you think you're going to become a nomad, you're going to live the van life because you want to or you can't afford rent anymore, things like that, well, I suggest playing around with it now. Start looking around when you're driving. Ooh, that would be a good place to park, I wonder. And write them down, okay? Or pin them in Google Maps. Write them down and say, this might be a decent place to park. Another thing, too, is you can drive around at night so you can see, what goes on. Sorry about the coffee burps here. Cheers. Okay. So this is what I suggest. Now, if you have a Cracker Barrel in your town, use it, okay? Most, not all of them, but I'm going to say 99.9% of Cracker Barrels, they allow you to spend the night. And you say, well, I'll just spend one night there. Well, actually you can spend more. They're not going to look at you all the time and go, or take pictures of your drivers or your tags on your car and say, "Ooh, they've been here a while." They usually don't do that. They don't have time for that. So, but what I suggest is you at least go in and have coffee in the morning. Maybe order breakfast. I'm not a big fan of Cracker Barrel food. But if you look through, you can maybe find a couple eggs. I know at Cracker Barrel you can order from the children's menu if you don't have a big appetite. And if I do that, I usually order from that. I just get a couple eggs. So, Cracker Barrel, okay? Number 1. Now, Walmarts. You can park at a Walmart. Just go in and ask them. And they'll usually say, go to customer service. And then ask them, and they'll usually tell you, go ahead and park in this section over here because this is where Nomads park. And if they say no, then move on. Now, I'm going to suggest, let's say you're not in your city anymore. That's what you're going to do. When you go to a new city, until you get to know the town, you go to a Cracker Barrel or you go to a Walmart and you park there. You can also do, if they have on the outside of the city, you can park at Love's. Okay, I do know that they let you do that. You can park at Love's. Just park where the cars park. You wouldn't even, I've had people say, well, don't go park. That's horrible that you might park where the trucks park. Believe me, you know the difference. You would not want to go where the actual semis are parking. You will get run over, okay? You wouldn't even do it, and a lot of them run their trucks. So you would, yeah, it would be smelly. So and you know where the cars park, okay? And so you could park there for the night. And then go back into the city. You're on the road. Go back into the city, the town, and check it out during the day. And then you know that you can always go back if they don't have a Cracker Barrel or anything. You can always go back to the Pilot, or what are the other ones? The Pilot or Love's, okay? And so, yeah, or Petro. There's another one, Petro, that they're on the West Coast. So you can do that. So don't freak out. I want you to be happy. I want you to be safe. And I don't want you to be fearful. I don't want anxiety going on in your body. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your mind, okay? Well, let's keep going. I do not suggest a very small town because people know each other, right? Come on. I would say a medium-sized town. Like Flagstaff is 300,000, 350,000 people here. And a lot of people come here, okay, for the summer. So they're used to, there's a Cracker Barrel here. You can park there. Okay, there's Walmarts here. If you go in and ask, you can park. Okay? So I'm talking about cities right now. I can deal with BLM, okay? Or campsites. I can deal with them maybe at another time. Right now, I think a lot of us gals, when we first start out, we want to be in a city, okay? And we want to be where we have stores, we know we have people around. We want to be solo. We want to be by ourselves. We want to be around people. We can, chit chat with people in restaurants or in stores, things like that. Or if you have a friend that you travel with, okay? So you might want to get comfortable inside of a larger town or a small city. I like to, at night, I park in residential areas. Now, how would I know where to park? Well, I now know Flagstaff pretty well, and I also know Tucson very well when I'm there in the winter. I know Tucson very well. And so I know where I can safely park. Now, how do I choose? Let's talk about choosing a place. You want to drive around, like I said, when you first get there, just park at a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel. Yeah, just find or a truck stop that's outside the city. Use that until you're familiar with the city. Then you can kind of test places out. What I suggest, here's what I suggest. Don't go with real low income. They might not be safe, okay? That's the way I look at it. And you might want to get online and ask high crime areas in a city if you're new to it. Now, you don't want to go high end either, because they're going to call. I guarantee they will. After a while, they're going to be like, why is this car parked here at night? Well, basically, all they have to do is call and say, it's called a welfare check. Say, I don't know if these people are okay. They've been here a lot. And and it's here overnight, but I know they don't live here. The policeman will come and they'll knock on your window and they'll do what's called a welfare check. And what they'll do is they'll just say, well, people are concerned you're out here. And you really don't want to argue with them. That's my feeling. You can do what you want to do, but I feel like don't argue with them. Just say, okay, well, I'll move to nowhere else. Just say, I'm spending the night here. I'm traveling. I'm on the road. I'm traveling. Where do you suggest that I go? That's all you got to say. You don't have to say, I'm a nomad and I live here forever. You could actually say, well, I live in just wherever you came from. I live there, but I'm traveling across the country in my vehicle, to save money, and they'll get it, and they'll say, well, okay, well, you can go over here. Probably, I think they park at the Walmarts, things like that. So if you're go high end, you might get the knock. Yeah, you might get that. So I say mid. Go middle. Yeah. Now here's where I choose to park. Arizona has a lot of the residents have walls. Okay, even in mid, they have a lot of walls or fences. I think it's to keep coyotes out. There's coyotes that roam around in cities now. I know. But don't be scared. And javelina too. Now those you don't want to approach, yeah. But I know in Tucson there are javelinas in neighborhoods now. They just live there. And there's coyotes. They just live there. They have their little dens at night. And then at night, while we're all sleeping, they kind of roam around. I have a house here. And I have a house here. Okay, let's say there's no wall. Or let's just say there is a wall or there's a fence. You park in between them. That's what I always do. I mean, I don't know if it's, a lot of people figured that out, or I'm telling you, I am me. And this is the Lee Thomas show. I'm Lee Thomas, so I'm going to tell you what I do, okay? Okay, I haven't done the survey on what other nomads do, but what I do is house here, house here. I park in the middle of them. That way, and I don't go there till it starts getting a little bit dark. The sun's just starting to go down. People are winding down. They're in there eating their dinners, things like that. I park here. Now, so this person thinks that I'm for this person, and this person thinks I'm visiting this person. Just park in the middle, okay? Now, if there's a wall, that's my favorite. A lot of them are high walls. I mean, they're like, cinder block walls. They're very popular in Arizona. So you got a wall there. And so I park where the wall is, okay? And there you go. Or a fence, and I just park there. I never park in front of somebody's house. I don't want to block their mailbox. I don't want to block if they're going to put out their their trash bins, because it's pickup day the next day. And I'm going to block that. No, because that will upset them. Now, I will say, okay, that nobody owns the street. That's public. It's a public street. But they become very territorial. And they could also call welfare, or they'll come knock on your door, on your window, or harass you. You don't want to be harassed. You don't want to invite that, Like if somebody's tailgating you, you don't want to brake check them. It could start a fight. You want peace. I know the world's going crazy right now, but you don't want to push your way through so much. I go for the peace because this is a no drama zone. My life is a no drama zone now, okay? I like to be positive. I like to work on a higher frequency in the universe, okay? And I do trust in God, okay? He is my guide. And he wants me to just be peaceful. Go with the flow. Don't get stepped on, but, go with the flow. So there's my suggestions. Now, do I park in the same spot every night? I kind of do. They say don't do it, but I kind of do. They're used to seeing my car there after a while. Yeah, they know that I'm there. Do they know that somebody's in there? I don't know. Maybe they do because my windows are covered. They might, but they're covered with things that aren't just sticking out. I don't have towels over my window to block. Okay, yeah. I keep a clean minivan on the outside and the inside. Once I go and I park, I'm there. I just stay there. I don't get out ever. As soon as I'm there, as soon as I turn my minivan off, I cover my windows. And then I hunker in for the night. Wash up, pull out my bed, get online, read a little bit, maybe watch a movie. I go right to sleep. What I do is I get up very early. I get up early in the morning and I drive to where I want to go for the day. And then I make my coffee. Okay? Then I get ready. Then I start enjoying my day. But I always get away. That's just the way I do it. And because, I'm telling you, of course I'm going to tell the way I do it. Now, you did ask about parks. Let's go to the daytime. This is parking at night I just talked about. Let's talk about daytime. What I do is I go to local parks. So if you're new in a town, let's say you lived in the east or in the north, and now you want to spend your nomad life on the West Coast, because this is where a lot of nomads are. Well, you're not going to know the cities very well. I mean, I didn't know Flagstaff at all till I started coming here. I knew Tucson, but I didn't know Flagstaff. Now I know Flagstaff. Over time, you will gain confidence. So during the day, what I want you to do when you first get there is visit every single park. Visit them. And visit them at different points of the day. Where's the shady spots? Because in the afternoon, if it's summer, you're going to want the shady spots in the afternoon because the sun will change. Do they have solar panels you can park under during the day? Yeah. If you go to a local park, do you have to pay? Absolutely not. You're at the park. It's a public park. Yeah, it's a public park. Now you can go, if you during the day, you can park at the library. Check out all the libraries. See where and go during the different points of the day. For me, I study shade. Oh, yeah, if it's in the summer or even in the winter, I study shade. Where are the shady spots? I'm always looking. If I pick a park that I really like, I get to know those parking spots. Which one is the best, right? So if you're going to spend your day at the park for most of the day, which is really a best idea, right? I mean, this is your home. How many people just always, if they live in a house, how much do they always spend their whole life outside? No, you're going to spend a lot of time in your vehicle. You're going to be reading. You're going to be making coffee. You're going to be sitting back, relaxing. When I'm at the park, I can be inside my van or I can go for a walk. Yeah. Or I can go sit out, find a picnic table, sit out, and people watch. So this is what you're going to do. Does it cost to go to a park? Absolutely not. No, it doesn't cost anything to go to a park. It's a public park. Just go have fun. Just don't make a lot of noise and don't leave trash around, things like that. But I'm sure Marie Montgomery, you wouldn't do anything like that. And most of us don't, okay? So I'm going to end this now. But yes, this is my suggestions, and this is what I do for parking at night. When I'm in a city, I'm in a residential area. Oh, yeah. And I pick them. I get to know them. Thanks for watching. Okay, and thanks for the questions, Maria. So I ask you to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you really enjoyed this. I like to be helpful. And I will see you tomorrow, okay? I love you. Mwah.